He's a star, but he's also a guy that helps carry the water bottles and talks to the managers, and you love that out of your best player.
Wake Forest will bring out Drum and Gray. Drum is an 84% free throw shooter, by the way. Strickland, an 80% free throw shooter. And Visser's probably going to be the guy that's going to trigger it. They don't want him to have his hands on the ball. With 10.3 seconds. Nope, it's going to be Strickland.
Wisconsin will gamble right here. If they can come up with a steal, fine. If not, they got a foul instantly.
And if Visser touches it, he'd be the guy they'd love to send to the free throw line, probably. Strickland into Gray, and Gray's mugged immediately. It only took him about a half second to get to Justin. And a foul. It really doesn't matter right now who it's on. It's on Taylor. Wake Forest, 22 of 25 from the free throw line. And to be honest with you, that's the one thing that's always been kind of a problem in shooting 64%. And if they win this game, it'll be because of what they've done at the free throw line and what this guy's done all night long, and he just continues to knock them home. 34.
For a kid that told me yesterday his range is in the gym, I guarantee as soon as he got fouled, or even before he got fouled, he had the attitude of, I'm going to make you pay. That is critical with under 2 minutes to go.
This makes it a two-possession game, and he got it. That should do it. Let's see what Wisconsin's got. Long three. Wow! And now down to the final 5 seconds. And Justin Gray is fouled on the inbound with 4.2. Cameron Taylor and Orlando Tucker have hit 2 of the longest three-pointers you'll ever see. Watch this one from Taylor.
I mean, that's from the Big Ten ACC Challenge sticker. Just pulls up, and it's a true release and rotation and bottom.
And now Justin Gray's got to hit both of them, and Wisconsin still might have a chance.
The only thing Wisconsin didn't do after that make was quickly find Gray and deny him because he was standing wide open for the inbounds pass.
How about the ice water in this guy's veins right now? 36 points for Justin Gray. This one to try to make it a 3-point lead, but remember, Wisconsin has 4.2 seconds to try to get it down the court. He got them both. 91-88. Here comes your ball game. Taylor hit the last one. He'll have one more shot. Wow! What a finish. What a game. What a Big Ten ACC challenge to open things up here in Winston-Salem tonight. If they're all like this, watch basketball for about 2 nights, will you?
Great job to get the ball to Taylor going towards the rim so he didn't have wasted motion in the backcourt. That thing was almost pure. Huge resume win for Wake Forest in November.
Wake Forest goes to 6-1 courtesy of Justin Gray's career-high night. The 1. 91-88. The Demon Deacons win it. Let's head to Chapel Hill. Dan, Dick, and Dora standing by.
And welcome back to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Just underway, a couple of minutes in. Dan Schulman and Dick Vitale, Doris Burke with you. Illinois leading North Carolina 4-0. This is, of course, in name only, a rematch of the national championship game, but so many new faces, especially for the Tar Heels. There's one of them. Marcus Ginyard misses the 3. Look at David Noel doing some work underneath.
Step it up and be their leader. He's got to demonstrate on the court as well as leadership off the court. He's the veteran. He's the guy that's got a championship ring.
Dick, David Noel scored 1 point in the national championship game. That's the only point anybody on this Tar Heel team scored in that game. D. Brown with a layup, Illinois by 4.
I'll tell you, D. Brown is so quick, explosive, and he has the range as a shooter. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind he can play at the next level.
Augustine beats everybody down the floor, finds McBride for 3. Randall, Brian Randall, Sean Pruitt, and Rich McBride, all bench players previously in their Illinois careers, all starters now as Augustine rebounds another McBride miss.
I think that's going to be one of the areas of concern. They're really not big inside other than Hansbrough, North Carolina.
D. Brown a miss. And another rebound for Illinois, but stepping out of bounds is Randall. And I agree with you. You look at Randall and Pruitt and Augustine. Illinois is going 6'10", 6'9", 6'8" across the front line.
And they're very active. They're not just, guys that stand and move, go laterally for rebounds as well.
Augustine and Randall especially can really get up and down the floor and off their feet.
See, they have a nice combination. They got youth and they got experience.
Terry inside using the left hand. The assist to Ginyard.
Ginyard, a good-looking athlete. really an outstanding defensive player potentially. Lloyd Williams told us he's going to be a special defensive player.
6'5", good athleticism, good reach. Great atmosphere here at the Dean Dome tonight. A packed house. Carolina 3-0, although both of them have had narrow escapes.
Really haven't been tested. I would say when you think about Wichita State, obviously gave Illinois a heck of a battle. Illinois pulled it out by 1.
Randall, and a foul is called on Sean Terry, and that'll be 3.
That's a silly foul right there by Terry. He's a veteran player. He can't make that kind of play.
Illinois by 2 early here in Chapel Hill.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship coming in March.
What's he doing here?
Beats me.
Looking for our security.
Yes, sir. Our security is in the network, sir.
This blinky thing is our security?
The security thing is everywhere. The network is, sir.
Let me get this straight. The security is in the blinky thing, and it's in the doohickey next to the blinky thing? This is technical jargon, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Security, powered by Cisco.
Make this a December she'll truly remember at the December to Remember sales event, where you'll find the best vehicles. See your Lexus dealer.
Ding dong holiday, it's our holiday, be of jolly good cheer.
Ta-da!
Where does this piece go?
Whatever it is this holiday season, you can get it on eBay.
Create your own holiday feast at Red Lobster. Combine 2 or 3 of your seafood favorites from 10 signature dishes, including our tender snow crab. Turn a meal into a celebration this holiday at Red Lobster.
If you find this place, you won't come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you time!
Rated PG-13, starts December 14th.
Welcome back to the Big Ten ACC Challenge here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale with you in time now for the Star Watch presented by eBay. And we will talk about all those new faces, but one here with and love to watch play ball is Dee Brown.
Well, you know, Dee Brown has such a passion for playing, and he also was the player of the year in the Big Ten. He'll miss his buddy Darren Williams, who now has a great chance to be Rookie of the Year. I think it's going to be either Williams or Chris Paul as Rookie of the Year. 2 outstanding point guards now doing it on the NBA level.
Brown in the background, Brian Randall at the line for the Illini, a guy that Bruce Weber thinks has a chance to be outstanding. Broke his left hand last year. Got frustrated.
Can't get frustrated. He's got to relax.
A padded wall during practice. Broke his left hand. He is left-handed. Nice tap back by Augustine. But Randall now a redshirt sophomore. They thought so much of him, they named him a co-captain. Frazier with the steal and the lay-in for the Tar Heels.
And those are the little intangibles. Play the passing lane. Bobby Frazier's not going to wow you with super speed, quickness, but he has a great understanding of how to play.
Into the game now for Illinois, number 31, Jamar Smith, a sharp shooting for Peoria, Illinois. That's him with the ball right now.
Peoria, Illinois has produced so many outstanding players.
Wes Miller into the game now, defending Dee Brown. Quinton Thomas with a stress fracture in a toe will not play tonight for Carolina.
Great
Augustine.
I'll tell you, he's one of the premier big players in the nation. And when you have a tandem like Brown and Augustine, you got a chance to win.
Dick, is it tough, even though you're told all 3 front court players for Illinois are left-handed? Is that you're defending against them?
You know, it's very rare to have to face that. It's a very unique situation.
Pruitt, Randall, and Augustine, all lefties. Look at the jump hook from Tyler Hansbrough.
They're going to love him here. Love his work ethic, his great effort. Hey, his dad went to Missouri. His dad was a great athlete there.
Was a high jump champ.
His mom was Miss Missouri. Oh, Tyler Hansbrough. There's mom and the brother. A little hug there. What are they doing wearing Carolina blues?
Hansbrough has them on their feet here in Chapel Hill.
He is going to be special.
Roy Williams told us he's never seen a freshman so aggressive going after the basketball as Tyler Hansbrough. Pruitt muscling his way to the baseline. What a move.
I like Pruitt and I like Randall. I think Illinois, by the end of the year, is going to be right up in the upper echelon in the Big Ten.
They did lose 3 starters, but have most of their reserves back. Their team has not changed. It's Noel inside.
David Noel, he's become from a 7th option to the 1st option.
He was there among the returning players. He is the leading scorer at under 4 points per game. But he says, hey, I'm a senior. I've been there. I've got to be the leader of this team.
And I also like what he said. We expect to win. We're North Carolina. We're not talking about rebuilding.
D. Brown goes right by Wes Miller and lays it in. He's a blur.
Yeah, he can't handle him. That's an M&M mismatch defensively.
Up and down they go. Great pace to start this, fouled inside by Pruitt.
In fairness to Miller, there aren't many people that can play him one-on-one. You have to give some help. And remember, he's not in great condition yet. There he is, beating to the goal. He had that broken foot. He missed a lot of practice time, and he really hasn't gotten himself yet into the basketball rhythm.
Illinois leading by 1. The foul on Randall, not Pruitt. It'll be the first on Randall. Noel rattles it in. Let's go to Doris Burke now. As Dick alluded to, Doris, a bad break for D. Brown turned into a good break for the Illini.
It certainly did. After playing an entire career without an injury that was serious, D. Brown, he was on the brink of his NBA dreams when he broke his foot at NBA pre-draft camp in June. The break goes to Bruce Weber, one of the most exciting and explosive guards in all of college basketball. He moves exclusively to the 1-guard spot this year, Dick. Bruce Weber says he wants him to be a more cerebral player, a guy who's used his instincts and his energy to be effective. His numbers down a bit this season to start the year, though, Dick.
Yeah, they're down because he's really battling, as I said, coming back, trying to get in condition after that injury. But I'll tell you this, I think he made a smart move. He was not going to be drafted very high, most likely at best a 2nd rounder. And if you're going to be the 2nd round, man, why would you want to give that up and become a basketball vagabond? Guys like Azubuike, the kid from Arkansas, from your team.
Shot clock at 3. Dick Frazier doesn't know it. D. Brown does, but does not hit the rim. Chester Frazier, a freshman point guard out of Baltimore, caught unaware. Look at D. Brown saying, look up at the clock, man. You got to know what's going on up there.
Well, you got to play the game with your mind as well as your physical abilities. So many times kids have no awareness to score, strategy, or time.
Yep. Freshman point guard. D. Brown can slide off the ball a little bit, but everybody getting used to each other. North Carolina red hot right now.
You know, we talked about kids leaving early. You think about Kennedy Winston leaves at Alabama, doesn't make anybody's roster, and now you bounce around. One can understand the North Carolina kids are all lottery selections.
4 of them taken in the top 14 picks in the NBA draft.
Marvin Williams, number 2.
Yep. Noel already with 6 points early, finds Byron Sanders, who has checked in for the Tar Heels and dribbled it out of bounds. A lot of these 8s on these 2 teams a year ago have moved up the depth chart, and we'll see what kind of results. You talked about it. This, even though they both had close calls, this is the toughest test for both teams so far this year.
Oh, no question. It's going to get tough as well for North Carolina going on the road at Kentucky. But that's how you find out strengths, weaknesses, and players really grow up.
Brown looking inside for Augustine, off his fingertips, out of bounds.
You know, right now, North Carolina beat the likes of Gardner-Webb, a good Gardner-Webb team. By the way, they should win the Atlantic Sun and be in the NCAA tournament. They beat Minnesota yesterday.
North Carolina beat them 83-80 in their opener on a 3 with a second to go by David Noel. Illinois' toughest game, a 1-point win over Wichita State. They bounced back after that, beat Rutgers by 20. It'll be Illinois basketball when we come back. Carolina leading by 1. During the course of the season, it will showcase a great basketball moment from all Division I schools. ESPN News Pride of the program is coming up.
Taco Bell's new Chipotle Grilled Stuffed Burrito. Loaded with carne asada steak, Chipotle seasoned rice, spicy Southwest Chipotles. All wrapped up and grilled to go. For the perfect balance of flavor and spice, think outside the bun.
Make this a December he'll truly remember at the December to Remember sales event, where you'll find the best values of the year on your favorite Lexus vehicles. See your Lexus dealer.
Taking a quick break?
I'd like to see those for someone very special.
A gift from Kay Jewelers means every diamond is hand-selected to match beautifully, and she'll absolutely love them.
Chris, how did you know? Every kiss begins with K.
Early going in this one, Carolina leading Illinois early by 1. Time now for ESPN News. Prior to the program, our countdown takes us from A to Z. Tonight in the spotlight, Campbell. Located in the heart of the ACC, Campbell had never beaten an Atlantic Coast Conference team. Traveling 30 miles to Reynolds Coliseum, the Camels took NC State to OT. Scott Neely's three-pointer sealed it. Still the small Baptist school's only win over an ACC squad. And all season long, we'll be bringing you a great moment from each and every Division I moment. Not yesterday morning, out doing some work in the backyard around the pool, slipped and broke his right ankle and will be in a cast for several weeks, but is still able to walk, to call the plays, to argue with the officials, to be the Bruce Weber we've all enjoyed watching in recent years.
Well, people don't realize coaches have more to do than just coach basketball. His wife said go in the yard and do some work around the pool. It was raining and he slipped.
See, that's the difference. Your wife knows better than to ask you to go in the backyard and do some work.
You gotta write a check out and hire someone.
August, and the rebound comes down to Ginyard.
Neither club has made a three yet. The three has been so dominant early this year. In fact, last night Gardner-Webb won because they made 12 threes.
We just saw two freshmen combine on a pretty play. Danny Green with a great find. Marcus Ginyard with a layup.
Ginyard's a kid that moves well without the ball, and Green's got excellent passing ability, and he's a medium-range shooter as well.
Both of them 6'5". This Carolina freshman deep, and they're all in the rotation.
And where do you see next year's class?
D. Brown long on the three. Carolina on the run, but Wes Miller needs some help. Danny Green will jack a three. Noel has 8 points already.
I tell you, David Noel playing like a star. Originally was recruited here as a football player.
He is playing above the rim big time tonight. Bruce Weber's going to let him try to play through it. Five to check in at the scorer's table right now. Rich McBride, he's been asked to fill it up from the outside this year. Frazier very long on the three, but the offensive rebound for Marcus Arnold. Foul committed by Noel.
Arnold's a transfer, came the route of Illinois State, had a big game against Illinois.
23 points a couple of years ago really impressed the Illinois program. We're here at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill along with Dick Vitale and Doris Burke. I'm Dan Schulman. This is continuing coverage of the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems. Tied at State beat Virginia Tech last night. Wake Forest beats Wisconsin in a close game tonight. The ACC has won each and every challenge over the past 6 years. You think the Big Ten's got a good shot this year?
Oh, I thought they, coming in, they really improved conference. There's a block, they count the goal.
Brian Randall, one of his nicknames is the Freak because of his athleticism, and at 6'8", putting the ball on the floor. We saw why right there. More action on ESPN tomorrow night from the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems.
Can't wait.
Dick and I will be, along with Doris, in Bloomington, Indiana. #1 Hoosier team. The game before us, Georgia Tech and Michigan State.
I love Randall's athleticism. He's so quick. I think they're going to find a way, though, to get more touches when he's on the floor to Augustine.
Into the game now for Illinois. Warren Carter, a 6'9" junior out of Dallas. They've got a lot of big bodies. They could use up a lot of fouls in that front court.
Carter made that big basket to beat Wichita State.
Ginyard gets stripped. Back comes D. Brown. No look pass inside. And will go against Illinois.
Great job, North Carolina, taking that offensive foul. You mentioned the Big Ten ACC matchup. I think the SEC should hook it up with the Big 12.
I agree, 100%.
And then why don't we go East-West and have a matchup with the Pac-10 and the Big East? Find out where's better basketball, East or West.
What are the 6 extra teams going to do in the Big East?
Well, what you do is simply they don't take
You rotate them.
You rotate them, exactly.
That foul on Warren Carter is first. I agree with you 100% about the SEC and the Big 12. That would be absolutely fantastic as McBride of Illinois.
What happens there, you eliminate a lot of these cupcake cities that you see early in the season. Teams beating up on teams. You can't even recognize some of their names.
My bad. Pruitt called for the foul, his second, so he will go out, and Augustine will check back in. Frazier to inbound it for North Carolina. North Carolina losing 91% of its scoring. Its top 7 scores from last year. This is their best freshman, Hansbrough, and the tip is up and in for Rayshon Terry.
Rayshon Terry came back. They taped up that end.
Rolled his ankle a few minutes ago, but he's fine. And back into the play. Now stolen by Ginyard. He's got a chance to be a great defender.
Oh,
look at that swat by the freak.
What a tremendous block. Mr. Randall showing that explosiveness. Cost himself a lot of playing time last year by breaking that hand, punching the wall.
We started to tell the story, though. D. Brown's a captain. James Augustine is a captain. Ryan Randall, we call him the Freak, one of his nicknames for his athleticism. You saw it right there. Bruce Weber thought, oh, he's just a redshirt sophomore. He made him a co-captain along with Brown and Augustine.
Blocked that shot. He's a lefty with the left hand against a right-handed player. A lot of your shot blockers in basketball have been left-handed players. Think about David Robinson,
right.
Bill Russell, the greatest shot blocker of them all.
Wow, Florida State.
Wow, what a
rushing
pummeling.
Purdue, the most lopsided game, and now the 7-year history of this challenge, and the ACC goes up 2-1.
Well, you know, Purdue, in fairness, they lost Teague for the year, major injury. The other day, Landry got hurt.
With one extra team in the ACC, the only ACC team not participating in the challenge is the newcomer, Boston College.
And a lot of pride at stake. These schools hook up against each other. Hey, think about active coaches that won a national championship. There are 11 of them, and Roy Williams is one of them.
Nice ring, huh? We got the chance to see the championship ring before the game. Frazier with a steal. Gets rid of it before he falls out of bounds. Terry too strong. And the rebound comes down to Frazier, and now Illinois looking to run 4-on-2, and they fumble it away. Carolina turns it right back over.
Sloppy. Really tough to get a rhythm when you got so many new parts. The components don't know what each wants to do.
Frazier running the show right now. The leaner by McBride doesn't get the bounce, and Hansbrough with another rebound.
He is so aggressive. I firmly believe had Roy Williams been coaching Kansas, he'd probably be playing for Kansas.
Kansas, Missouri, and Kentucky were the finalists for Hansbrough's services. He's out of Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Mom and Dad both graduated from Missouri.
Yep.
Wow.
Here he is on the baseline, cut off by Augustine. They'll try him again.
A lot of inside-outside. Once he gets the ball, bringing it back out.
Terry can shoot it from outside, passes it off to Frazier. Shot clock at 7. Terry puts it on the floor. Look at Hansbrough in there battling, but the rebound comes down to Frazier, who looks like he likes to mix it up under the rim.
He's got to know when to back it out and when to bring the ball out. Not a good shot right there at all.
Frazier runs it down, knocks it out of bounds.
Shot selection so
coming up, Dick. The champs get their reward. More on that when we come back to Chapel Hill after this.
When you can create your own holiday seafood feast, a meal turns into a celebration. Only Red Lobster lets you create your own favorite holiday feast by combining 2 or 3 of your seafood favorites. Choose from 10 signature dishes, including our very best sweet and tender snow crab. And remember, this holiday season you can treat the seafood lovers on your list to a Red Lobster gift card.
Make this a December she'll truly remember at the December to Remember sales event, where you'll find the best values of the year on your favorite Lexus vehicles. See your Lexus dealer.
You're a dog. All his life, he was forced to kill.
Get him! I don't want to hurt people anymore.
Now he master. Jet Li. Unleashed Unrated. With On Demand, you can start the movie anytime and use the rewind feature to watch your favorite fight scenes over and over. Unleashed Unrated. Now playing on demand.
Tune to channel 501 to watch this movie now. Time Warner Cable.
Meet Linda. Linda recently underwent robotic-assisted surgery.
Technology so innovative, only a few hospitals in the country use it. In fact, UNC is a leader in surgical robotics. It's the future of medicine and why aerobics today, making this less a story about a hospital and more about getting Linda back into the pool. UNC Healthcare, leading, teaching, caring, and Linda, strong, spirited survivor.
The look on their faces was the huge thing with me when I gave them the ring and they looked at it, and the way they looked at me, and you just know that that was a special moment for them.
Now the look on his face was something to take notice of as well. Roy Williams had come close at Kansas, wins a national championship at North Carolina. Felton and May and on it goes. But as Doris tells us, Coach Williams, Doris didn't get a chance to enjoy that championship very long.
No, in fact, that footage was the first day he said he allowed himself to enjoy the thoughts and feelings that accompany a national championship. Why? 72 hours after winning it, he was back on the recruiting trail. They returned on Tuesday at 4 p.m. On Wednesday at 6 a.m. he met Coach Holliday. He had just gotten the phone call from Sean May saying he was going to the NBA. He had some work to do, Dick.
Well, I'll tell you this, that's why he had the best recruiting class now. Coming in next year, Ohio State right behind him with the kid Odin and Conley from out of Indiana, and Connecticut right up there as well. But you have recruiting success when you got a great product to sell and you have great work ethic. And he has always been a relentless tenacity like you cannot believe in recruiting.
Foul on Warren Carter of Illinois, his second. David Noel to the line. He enjoyed that 2005 championship. David Noel did, as he knocks down the first free throw. He's the link between last year, and it's his job to help these freshmen to grow up in a hurry.
Well, the 11 guys that are active coaches right now with national titles and those beautiful rings: Roy Williams, Bobby Knight, Olson, Krzyzewski, Fisher, Boeheim, Calhoun, Patino, Smith, Roy Williams, Gary Williams, and Mr. Izzo.
Hey, how about Roy Williams' former assistant Neil Doherty, now the coach at TCU?
Wow, what he's got to play against right now.
Eddie Sutton, Tom Davis, Bobby Knight, and Jim Boeheim.
Total lows W's.
About 26 wins.
And they lost to Tarleton State, a good Division II team. One of the shocks earlier this year. I mean, there's been so many shocks. The parity last night, Gardner-Webb beat Minnesota at Minnesota.
Augustine on the drive draws the foul. He is tough when he puts the ball on the floor from 15 feet away.
He's got to get more touches. They got to bring it inside. Also last night, Southeast Louisiana beat Mississippi State.
You mentioned Minnesota. ESPN 2's coverage of the Big Ten ACC Challenge continues tomorrow night. Minnesota trying to bounce back from the home web, which gave Carolina such a battle. They'll take on Maryland, NC State, and Iowa. That's a good-looking game. The Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems on ESPN 2. NC State's one of your under-the-radar teams right now.
Well, you know,
right?
don't get much publicity and notoriety, but they got a tough task as you look what's happened thus far in the Big Ten ACC matchup. But, you know, you talk about NC State going to Iowa. That's not going to be easy. Iowa, a very veteran basketball team. Steve Alford should have a real breakout year, I believe, this year.
Now 6 the Illini are back within 4. Both of these teams unbeaten. Illinois at 5-0, Carolina 3-0. Danny Green comes up with a loose ball and then immediately turns it over. Both of these teams plagued by turnovers early. D. Brown forcing the issue, lays it in.
He has got superb quickness. That's one of his great strengths. I don't think there are many players in America quicker with the basketball from one end to the other.
Well, when you earn the nickname, the one-man fast break, as he comes up, you're mighty quick. Look at this.
Human highlights film.
Offensive foul, though. D. Brown a little bit out of control. Taking the charge is the coach's son, the fundamentally sound player, Bobby Fraser.
Well, I'll let you guess. Who do you think he thinks the world of playing at the NBA level? I should take a look at Mr. Brown as he takes the ball from the length of the court.
Maybe Mr. Iverson?
You got that right. Allen Iverson. Say what you want about Iverson. He plays hard every possession. Plays with trouble.
As does D. Brown. One of the handles put on D. Brown last year was the face of college basketball. That's pretty good face. How about David Noel in the night he's having? He's got a dozen.
You know, Doris, David Noel just goes right by. Nobody rotates over. That's not the kind of defense you saw last year with Illinois.
McBride knocks down a 3. That's one of his jobs. He can really fill it up. Had a 22-point game. 6 threes one night as a freshman. Ginyard from Green.
You know, Bruce Weber's got to be very upset with the last 2 possessions on the defensive side. Doris, they're really not finding people and not communicating. And I know this guy prides himself on great team defense.
Well, it really does, Dick. And a guy he has especially challenged this year is James Augustine. Feels like he's a great, physically gifted basketball player, but he wants to be too much of a good teammate. He feels like he could dominate every single possession, but defensively, that's where he wants his guys playing hard. James Augustine has to step up this year and be more of a leader for this club.
You know, you think about Bruce Weber, what a great job he did at Southern Illinois. I mean, he did a phenomenal job there, won 103 and 54 in 5 seasons. That's a great place for basketball. The Salukis have a great deal of tradition. Went to the NCAAs twice. In fact, in 2002, they went to the Sweet 16. They beat Texas Tech in the General and Jimmy Herrick before losing to Connecticut.
Waited a long time for a head coaching opportunity. Did great at Southern Illinois, and now a national runner-up in just his second year with the Illini.
Served 18 years under Gene Cady. I've read the book about Gene Cady that came out this year.
David Noel doing a little bit of everything, knocks it away from Randall. 9 turnovers, Dick, committed by the Illini already. Look at Hansbrough muscling his way in.
I'll tell you one thing, he knows what to do with the ball if he gets it in deep.
Boy, he is tough on the inside, just a freshman, and he's got future star written all over him.
He's a big wide body inside. He's a space eater. He knows how to get post position. He's one of those freshmen. He's a diaper dandy who has come in and lived up to his reviews coming out of high school.
Averaging 18 points and almost 8 rebounds per game through the first 3 games of the season for Carolina. That foul on David Noel, his second.
Well, his debut, he had 21 against Gardner-Webb. Then he came back against Cleveland State, had 18, and then he had 15 against Cal Santa Barbara. There he is in deep. See, once he gets the ball in deep, he's got great hands. Excellent job. That's the whole family, man. Brother, mother, they're all in town.
I believe that's his younger brother, Ben, who has signed to play basketball next year, Dick, with Mississippi State.
Mississippi State struggled this week. Also lost to Northwestern State.
McBride will go to the line looking for the three-point play. Nice mid-range game there shown by Rich McBride, who used to be just a three-point shooter.
Well, they need McBride to give him some scoring from that offside. You know, you miss a guy like Darren Williams. Take a look right there with the medium-range jump shot. Reputation as being almost one-dimensional, shooting threes exclusively. But he's worked hard, lost some weight.
Lost about 20 pounds last year. He was the first guard off the bench, but with Luther Head, Darren Williams, and D. Brown, didn't get many minutes. But seizing the opportunity this year, he's reported in great shape. This Ginyard is terrific.
I like Ginyard. He's an outstanding athlete. Uses the left hand, lays it on the glass. He's got a great first step. Plays hard. Look at him defensively now, taking the challenge to play D. Brown.
Alexandria, Virginia. Ginyard recovering from a broken left wrist in the summer. What a block inside by Danny Green.
I tell you, they're going to love the G&G guys.
Green and Ginyard, they have hooked up a couple of times tonight. And we've seen great plays down at the defensive end by both. Take us to break with one of the G's.
Gonna take a look at Mr. Ginyard. Says, try to match that, baby. That's my left hand, laying it on the glass. He's a diaper dandy.
Whatever it is, you can get it on eBay.
Have 50,000 going once, twice. Sold to the gentleman in the center.
I want to go ahead and sell it now.
Constantly buying and selling stocks doesn't make much sense either. That's why Edward Jones advises clients to buy long-term investments.
Wait, did you see that? Clearly, that woman is trying to get more fiber and calcium in her diet. Now, it's so much easier with new Metamucil capsules plus calcium. Metamucil fiber for regularity, plus as much calcium as an 8-ounce glass of milk for strong bones to help prevent osteoporosis. Metamucil capsules plus calcium. Stay regular, stay strong.
You know, folks, Deacon Jones has built his reputation on integrity, and he has never lost a car deal over price. Now, this is our commitment from us. And you see one less anywhere in the United States, we will give you all your money back or refund you 105% of the difference. I'm Chuck Iannotti. I'm the general manager at Deacon Jones Kia, and we know that you hate the back and forth just as much as I do. That's why at Deacon Jones Kia, we price our cars, not our customers.
Meet Linda. Linda recently underwent robotic-assisted surgery. Technology so innovative, only country use it. In fact, UNC is a leader in surgical robotics. It's the future of medicine, and why Linda is doing water aerobics today, making this less a story about a hospital and more about getting Linda back into the pool. UNC Healthcare, leading, teaching, caring, and Linda, strong, spirited survivor.
Phelps and Jay Billis coming up on the UPS halftime report. Shades of gray, vividly colored for Skip Prosser in Wake Forest. He's a veteran. Carolina, a veteran helping him out too, Dave.
Yeah, you got to credit David Noel. His leadership has really kicked in, I think, Jay, and that's caught the freshman believing in Roy Williams' system.
What's caught him is Illinois has got to get back in transition. Their defense has been poor. They've got to shore it up.
All right, guys, see you at halftime.
All right, guys, good points. And we've seen this Carolina team, different players, but they still love to get down the floor in a hurry, Dave.
Well, Jay's right. You know, the bottom line is you got to communicate defensively, as I said a little bit earlier. Poor job defensively in the last 3 possessions. Not communicating, not playing the ball end man. This kid is going to be special. There's no question. Hansbrough's going to be a special player on the interior. And when he combines with Brandon Wright next year on that baseline from out of Brentwood, Tennessee, I'm telling you, people better jump on North Carolina this year, because bottom line is when you combine that group coming in next season with these kids, they are going to be back right up in the upper echelon.
Marcus Ginyard has a well-earned reputation as a terrific perimeter defender. This is to see him play. He is everywhere. And you asked Coach Williams before the game about Jack Emanuel, a great defender for Carolina the last few years. And Roy Williams said Ginyard isn't quite as long, but by the time he's done, he's got a chance to be as good a defender as Jack Emanuel was, and that's high praise.
This man-to-man defense by North Carolina. Playing with a lot of pride right now, but they lack in terms of size. They're trying to make up with quickness.
D. Brown, little push-off to try to get away from Ginyard, and he hit it with the shot.
That's a big-time move by Mr. Brown.
First field goal of the night for D. Brown. Did have that driving layup earlier. Now Brown will lead Illinois back as he sheds a couple of defenders. Jamar Smith for 3.
He's a long-range shooter. He's come in with a reputation as being a downtown guy. Can shoot him from downtown Raleigh.
Only 175 pounds on that 6'3" frame. Illinois goes back on top.
No substitute for guys that can make shots. Bruce Weber getting a little more animated on his sideline about the defense. Talk, communicate, show some pride. That was one of their strengths last year.
Frazier to Noel, who's having a huge first half. Misses the 3. And a North Carolina player just got collared by Marcus Arnold, but no call.
Marcus Arnold, very physical, very strong. Telegraphed that pass, baby. That was almost, give it up. Get it back.
Again,
should have given it back.
And now heading to the line will be Byron Sanders.
2-on-1, you want to stay a little wider in the lane. You want to make one guy have a difficult time trying to play both.
You're right. If Noel had given it up earlier to Ginyard, he would have gotten it back.
What a layup. Yep. Carolina's got 10 guys in the NBA right now. Vince Carter, Jeff McGinnis, Felton, May, Jameson, Haywood, McCann, Stackhouse, Wallace, Marvin Williams. Marvin's going through the grown-up time right now. He's a kid with a world of potential, but it's going to take some time. You just hope the coaches down there are a little patient with the coaches, because it'll take him time before he's able to do things on a regular basis in the NBA. That's why I thought where Atlanta needed instant help, that a guy like Darren Williams or Chris Paul could have been their answer.
Byron Sanders getting the friendly bounce on the first free throw. Misses the second, and Augustine comes up with a rebound. When Augustine is done this year, unless he gets hurt at some point this year, he's going to wind up as Illinois' all-time leading rebounder.
Tell you, Sean May, Illinois was absolutely sensational in an NCAA title. In fact, Augustine only played about 9 minutes.
Fouled out, did not score a point in that game. Nice move inside by Marcus Arnold. Again, the redshirt junior, a transfer from out of Illinois State.
He's got 2 years of eligibility. Nice pass to the inside.
And Bruce Weber looks very upset with his defense right now. Look at D. Brown, and the follow is good for Marcus Arnold.
Arnold up on the glass, Illinois State. I tell you, there's a lot of animation, a lot of excitement here in terms of the way to go up and down.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys trying to make their mark, realizing what an opportunity they have for minutes this year. Rayshawn Terry with a nice baseline move. And again, Bruce Weber very upset. His team's given up the baseline a few times tonight.
I have never seen Illinois give up such easy layups as we witnessed here tonight. Got to give them a little break, though, because they are playing so many new to place them into that puzzle.
They won the South Padre Invitational Tournament to beat Wichita State by 1 in the semis.
Blew Rutgers out.
Beat Rutgers by 20 in the championship. Brown uses the screen, misses the 3. Arnold keeps it alive. Augustine has it. Arnold's going to help him this year.
Brown, normally a long-range shooter, hooked up with his buddy Darren Williams, got a lot of free shots.
Yep.
But they made a dramatic comeback last year. Jay did the game against Arizona, 15 down late in that game. Performance by the kids of Illinois to go on to the Final Four.
Won that game in overtime, 90-89. Brown will have to create, and he can create, but Luther Head and Darren Williams, those 3 guards, helped each other get so many shots last year. McBride, the crowd wanted to travel. D. Brown for 3.
That was his strong suit. You know, these two clubs together last year, they won a mere 71 games. 71 games. That's more than the Stranza here.
Tied at 35 at the end of an exciting first half.
Wow.
Almost all of Carolina's damage inside. Bruce Weber not happy with his D at times, and he's got to use crutches after that broken ankle he suffered yesterday to get off the court. Both coaches, I think, can find some things they're happy about. Both coaches can find some things that their young teams have to work on. Let's go to Doris Burke standing by with Roy Williams.
Roy, so many questions for you coming into this season, but you asked your guys to play hard and to guard. Assess the first.
Really hard. There's no question. They're a little more experienced. They have a little more trickery getting around those screens than we do on the defensive end. But kids really played hard. We just got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball.
All right, Roy. Thanks very much, guys.
Doris, thank you. Tied at 35 at the half. Time now for the UPS halftime report. Back to the studio. Reese Davis, Digger Phelps, and Jay Billis. Tied at 35 as we head to the second half here at the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems. Coming to you live from Chapel Hill with a Clemson win over Penn State. The ACC now out in front 3-2. Used to be known as the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Now the Big Ten ACC. Maybe that'll change the Big Ten's luck. The shooting pretty good. The play sloppy at times. I think both coaches, as we mentioned, saw some things they like, maybe some things they have to work on. These young Tar Heels, kind of an unknown commodity for most of the country coming in. What'd you think?
Well, you know, I think it's a very entertaining first half. I think there was really a difficult time getting rhythm. I think with all the new players, it's very difficult to be offensively efficient. But I also think North Carolina's got to find a way to get a few guys making some threes in the lane. They were dominant in the paint. Look at their point production in the paint. That's where basically all their scores came. They got to get a guy like Terry or a guy like, for example, Danny Green, Frazier, to be able to make some threes to spread it out. Just look at D. Brown taking it to the goal, had 8 points, 2 assists.
Underway here in the second half. The first possession of the half to North Carolina. Tied at 35. The Tar Heels 3-0. The Illini. Sean Terry comes off the screen and he misses the 3. He was 12 for 20 making threes last year. Still looking for his first one of this season as we throw it over to Doris Burke.
Guys, Dick touched on this in the first half. Bruce Weber very disappointed in the defense, particularly the easy layups. He said, we've got to get better inside help. He said, but as poorly as we played, we're tied up. He said, we feel pretty good, and that'll help his mood a little bit, guys.
They're leading now. Brian Randall with a 3.
I think they got the kind of players that ultimate meant to play on the defensive side. They can have a big year.
Hansbrough the miss, and Terry knocks it out of bounds. One of the things Bruce Weber wrote on his blackboard in the locker room before the game.
Oh, you were spying, huh?
I was spying a little bit. I think it's okay now. The game's half over. He said, on the road, if you rebound and you play defense, you can win. And right now, they're not playing defense the way that he wants them to.
Well, they're not communicating. They're really not helping. A good defensive team plays as a unit. They really play together. 5 guys helping one another.
It's by Frazier. Brown goes right by him for the layup.
He goes right by him, but no one rotated over. That's what I'm talking about, help. You got to close that driving angle.
10 now for D. Brown.
He's going to have a big year. He's just getting into the field. You got to have help on defense. Got to communicate. Let's double up.
Nice trap on Terry. He finds the open man. Now Ginyard driving baseline. Better help this time by Illinois, but the weak side rebound. Hansbrough's block. Terry misses the fine. I come out of there.
This guy's a one-man fast break. Look at this. He's a one-man fast break.
Just a little bit strong off Augustine out of bounds. Well, the NBA scouts told D. Brown they wanted to see him run the show in the half court. Everybody already knows what he can do in the open floor.
There's a lot of guys playing at that level, trust me, that aren't any better than this guy. Same I hear about J.J. Redick. They talk about his speed, his quickness. Forget about it. Anybody can shoot like that, move it out the ball like you.
Augustine with a block on David Noel, who had a dozen in the first half. Look at this scrap as Hansbrough winds up on top of Sean Pruitt, and it'll be Illinois ball on the alternating possession.
We're going to take a look at the drive right here. Goes to the goal, and nobody rotates over. He comes right, freeze it, right there. He goes to the goal, and nobody came over to cut off the driving angle.
Hansbrough tried to annoy the first 5 points in the second half. Carolina scoreless, 0 for 6 from the field since the break. Brown trying to drive, got Frazier in the air, missed the jumper, and Hansbrough, boy, is he going to pile up some big rebound totals the way he goes after the ball. Frazier all the way, and the soft lay-in is good, and he draws the foul.
Nice strong drive by Frazier going to the basket. Comes from a high school where they got to wear shirt and ties up in Illinois, and they allowed him on that day to wear a North Carolina team title. There he is taking the ball to the goal. Daddy's son, daddy a coach.
Frazier was at the national championship game, and you can see the intensity on his face. And this is the free throw. The foul on Brian Randall, his third. We'll keep an eye on that. He stays in the game for now.
D. Brown really trying to insert himself a little more offensively. I mean, you got to realize we talked about the loss, certainly, of May, and Felton, Marvin Williams, McCants. But when you lose also the likes of guys like Powell and Head and Darren Williams, because Head doing a good job in the NBA now with the Houston Rockets.
Frazier with a steal.
Nice
Bounce pass to Hansbrough, and Hansbrough is fouled.
Nice look. That's what we talk about, basketball intelligence. Knows the guy's trailing, finds the trailer. You're going to see this right. There's the steal. Makes like a defensive back. Now he's got the trailer on his right. Look at Bruce Weber. Not happy at all with that possession.
The foul on D. Brown, his second. Tyler Hansbrough will go to the line. He's been North Carolina's leading scorer of their first 3 games. Not so far tonight. David Noel's having a big night as Hansbrough shows a soft touch at the line.
You know, so many guys come in with big reputations, and once they get with other players who are equal in ability, they disappear. This kid has come from day one and has been an instant factor. Just like you go right around the country down at LSU with Tasman Mitchell, Sean Williams at Memphis. Those guys have come in from day one and been a factor.
You're delivering diaper dandies, right?
Yeah, they deliver, baby. They deliver. They deliver.
Officials trying to figure out whose ball it is, and I think they got the call right. It looked like it bounced off Noel out of bounds. It'll be Illinois basketball.
I thought it went off Noel as well. But I'll go to you because you got 2 eyes on the Roy Williams. The job he did at Kansas, won 80% of his games up at Kansas.
What kind of a sense did you get from Roy Williams when we talked to him before the game about how good this team can be this year? Can they win 20? Can they make the NCAA tournament? As Randall buries another 3.
Wow, Randall's question. I'll tell you one thing. They have a chance to really pile up some good numbers in their pre-conference schedule, because other than this game in Kentucky, they got games that are winnable. They really do when you look at their schedule.
The likes of Santa Clara, St. Louis, USC among the bigger names on their schedule other than Illinois and Kentucky.
That's not South Carolina, Southern Cal.
Yes, Southern Cal.
And it's not in football.
Ginyard cutting, but the pass knocked away. 9th turnover committed by Carolina.
I like Randall. Started 9 games as a freshman.
McBride, and he hits a 3, and now the Illini are filling it up from outside.
And it's a 3-point shot. We've talked about how the 3-point shot. You look at North Carolina, they haven't made a 3.
Randall's knocked down 2 this half. McBride has hit 1. You know D. Brown can shoot it from out there. Now a hold on the inside.
There's
it's going
no
against
substitute
Randall.
for guys that can make those 3s. I don't know about you, man. I can't wait for tomorrow down in Bloomington. The Dukies hook it up with Indiana, knocking down a trifecta.
Tonight's game here from Chapel Hill. in stunning high definition, available on ESPN HD, presented by Phillips. Illinois outscoring North Carolina 11-3 in the first 4 minutes and 10 seconds of the second half. Brian Randall with a couple of big threes here this half, Dick, but he's also picked up 2 fouls. He's got 4 right now, and he's sitting down.
Yeah, he's got 4 fouls. The difference in the game thus far, basically, is the fact that Illinois has made 5 threes in North Carolina. That's 15 points to the plus side for the Fighting Illini.
Both teams with more turnovers than assists. The play has been sloppy at times, a little bit frantic at times, but a great effort being put forth by both clubs.
Yeah, both clubs are playing very hard. The effort is absolutely super.
Hansbrough right into the double team, and the rebound comes down to the Illini.
They want a contact inside. Boy, Williams says, hey, on the arm, baby, you got to blow the whistle there.
He is aggressive. He doesn't back down from anybody in the post. And Noel has to foul Pruitt.
You know, guys that are active like Pruitt and certainly Randall, they got some good athletes on that baseline.
Third foul on Noel. More action on ESPN tomorrow night for the Big Ten ACC Challenge, presented by Cisco Systems at 7 Eastern. Georgia Tech is up at Lansing to take on Michigan State. And then at 9 Eastern, Dick Dorison and myself will be in Bloomington, Indiana, taking on #1 Duke. That game also available on ESPN HD.
Wow, look at the tail of the tape right here. 2 Goliaths on the interior. Had a lot of success at Auburn. Went to the Sweet 16. Sheldon Williams was absolutely brilliant. He carried Duke on his back against Memphis.
Had 30 points in that game. Had 50 points. 30 against Drexel and had 20 against Memphis. 50 points in the 2 games in New York to win the MVP.
And we saw it growing up. And Greg Paulus, who did a phenomenal job distributing the rock. Well, Williams told us how much he would have loved to have McRoberts and Paulus. 2 outstanding diaper dandies.
No look bounce pass to Hansbrough. Nice play.
I like Bobby Frazier.
I do too.
I really do. He's not sensational, but just understands how to play. Good 2-man play there.
And again, having to play more minutes tonight. He generally does start, but Quentin Thomas, his backup, is out with a toe injury tonight. So Frazier's gobbling up almost all the minutes at the point.
That's the way you're going to get better. You've got to get some playing time against big-time competition.
Jamar Smith for 3, the assist to D. Brown.
And there's the trifecta again. Minnesota against Gardner-Webb. They made 12. Minnesota made 1. They lose.
Bruce Weber says Jamar Smith, the freshman out of Peoria, is the best shooter on the Illinois team.
He's got great range as a shooter.
Has drawn some early comparisons to Luther Head.
That's not bad.
Not bad, huh?
Luther Head had 29 the other day.
Frazier wide open. Carolina still without a 3 in this game.
Tracy McGrady's out of the lineup now. Head getting a lot of playing time.
Tied at the half. Now a 9-point lead for the Illini here in the second half.
Putting the ball in.
You know what? Putting Marcus Ginyard on D. Brown right now, trying to shut him down, taking Frazier away from him.
Well, with that great size. We saw Rodney Carney's great size and length really cause a problem for J.J. Redick.
Ginyard a steal and draws the foul on D. Brown. So Ginyard really making his presence felt here tonight.
They're going to be a fun team to watch play. They got a little tough matchup though coming up with Davidson. That's not going to be a cupcake. There's the steal. Now here he is in transition. They're trying to protect the ball. Draws the contact.
D. Brown, the last 2 have been committed back at the other end of the floor after turnovers. He hasn't had much of a choice.
You know, I had the great year last year, but my favorite Illinois team was back in '89. The Flying Illini, Lou Henson, with Nick Anderson, Steve Bartle, Kenny Battle, Kendall Gill, Lowell Hamilton, Marcus Liberty, Erwin Small, Larry Smith. They lost to Michigan in the Final Four in the semis.
Stephen Bardo is here. He's part of the Illinois radio crew. Saw him covering baseball a lot. Saw him at some White Sox games during the season.
He does. I know you have to get baseball in. What about the Mets getting Delgado and Wagner? What's happening? Nothing happening in the Bronx.
8-point lead for Illinois.
They're only raising ticket prices.
Here's Smith. Now it's Danny Green who is checked in, covering Smith.
They're very active defensively, North Carolina. Nice little help right there.
Wes Miller now defending Brown. Nice look in the corner. Smith missed. Heels trying to run. Green from Ginyard and a foul. The crowd wants an intentional, but they're not going to get it.
Bruce Weber did a great job at Southern Illinois. There's the bounce pass, the catch.
Wow. Illinois catches a break right there. Initially near the ball, but then just grabs the left arm and spins Danny Green around. Chester Frazier, another freshman for Illinois, committing the foul.
Our guy, Super Garth, Mr. Howard Garfinkel, was raving about Danny Green. Thinks he's going to be one of those really good, solid players. Just contributes in many ways, versatile.
At 17 points in his debut against Gardner-Webb, 1 of 2 from the line. And now Frazier getting booed because of that foul. The Carolina fans saw it and they weren't happy about it.
Frazier very physical, strong guy with the ball.
Recruit Eric Gordon out of near Indianapolis, and now Bruce Weber calling out plays. The Carolina fans thought D. Brown might have traveled there as he tried to keep his feet. Augustine sticks with it and lays it in.
Nice offensive rebound by James Augustine, jamming James on the inside. You're right, they got a terrific recruit, only a junior. Roy Williams was telling us today that he's without question one of the top 10 of his class.
Eric Gordon Jr., they call him EJ. Noel sets a Frazier back. The crowd likes that. Green misses the 3. Now here come the Illini.
Got to back it out. Nothing in front of you. Got to back it out. Sloppy play right there. Got to understand numbers. You got to know when to bring the ball back out.
Bruce Weber doing a little coaching with Frazier right now. 13th turnover committed by Illinois.
You know, Bruce Weber's just a gym rat. He's a coach. Yeah. He's a purist as a coach. There's no showbiz about him. It's all about just coaching basketball.
And a goal yesterday, if you missed that off the top of the show, doing a little work out in the backyard, slipped and broke his ankle, and he'll have that cast on for several weeks.
The last guy to coach with one leg like that against North Carolina was the Baron, Adolph Rupp, back in 1972.
Wes Miller now at the point for Carolina, along with Frazier, 2 point guards in the game. You know, Dick, in 62 minutes of action this year, the unheralded Wes Miller has committed 1 turnover.
Wow.
Sanders, but I think it was Danny Green.
It was Danny Green. There's that versatility. You know, I mentioned about Adolph Rupp. I can't take credit. I got that from Mark Shansky, who's got a new book out that's selling big down here called Blue Blood, all about Duke and Carolina. The most storied rivalry in college basketball.
Byron Sanders rips down the rebound. How many miles between the campuses? 7?
7 or 8.
David Noel. There's a good double team. They cut off the baseline.
Nice pass.
Sanders spinning Danny Green, the miss. Noel just for the rebound. Out of bounds, Carolina ball. What a play by David Noel.
And Roy Williams runs over and picks him up and smiles. He loves that effort. Roy says, that's my kind of guy. Blue heaven, they love it. Look at here, blue heaven, baby. Oh, blue heaven jumping.
Continuing coverage of the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems. Check out the effort by David Noel. Just working hard, coming up with a loose ball. Carolina eventually retained possession. And look at how happy Roy Williams is. That's some senior leadership right there. With more on this, let's go to Doris Burke.
Dan, you can see why he earned the nickname the blue-collar man of that class. That includes the now departed McCants, May, and Ray Felton. You talk about David Noel, a guy who turned down football scholarships to pay his freshman year here, ended up being scholarshiped as a sophomore. They're thrilled he's still here.
By Noel, but this time stepped out of bounds before he could save it as Carolina turns it over.
They're scrapping, they're hustling, they're doing everything the coach wants, except they got to find somebody to make some trifectas. Yep. They are 0 for 7 now from the trifecta.
Whereas Illinois is 6 for 15. That's the biggest difference in this game.
Also, the free throw line has really hurt North Carolina. 8 for 14. He was the perfect guy for this job, Roy Williams. He fits the puzzle here perfectly, just like Mike Krzyzewski doesn't do.
Wide open, Rich McBride missed a 3. Great attempt by Carter on the follow, but it rims out, and back comes Carolina.
Carter saved them against Wichita State, coached by Mark Turgeon, former Kansas Jayhawk, doing a great job there.
How about the spin move for Danny Green?
He's just an all-around player. He's an all-around player, good medium-range game, which is really a rarity today.
We have seen 4 of the freshmen tonight, and Hansbrough, Frazier, Green, and Ginyard have all been impressive.
Take a look at him right here with a nice little spin move in the lane. A little spin, lays it on the glass. a la John Wooden style, the Wizard of Westwood used to teach. Use that glass backboard, especially if you get angles. Everything's about angles.
So the freshman's old school, you're saying, huh?
Exactly. Hey, I can't wait to see Boston College. Talk to them today. They are excited about their team.
We will see them in the Jimmy
V against Michigan State. 1
week from tonight. Also Kansas and St. Joe.
That diaper dandy, kid by the name of Rice.
Tyrese Rice. D. Brown has it blocked. Hansbrough comes up with a loose ball. 4 freshmen on the floor right now for Carolina, along with David Noel. And Danny Green is fouled from behind by Marcus Arnold. Number 2 on Arnold.
Oh, there's my diaper dandies who have been immediate impact players. You certainly take a look at Hansbrough. You think about certainly Green. You look at Ginyard and Frazier. These guys have been impacts right away. Coming in, putting on some point production. PT, playing time, and that's what kids want.
Yep. Going to get another great recruiting class coming here to North Carolina next year.
Remember the names, Lawson, Ellington, and Wright.
Ginyard, great drive and an assist for Hansbrough.
I don't think there's any doubt that G squared are going to be outstanding. Green and Ginyard, they're going to just keep getting better and better because they're going to get playing time against great competition.
Dick Ives are falling in love with his team here tonight. I think Illinois fans are going to fall in love with the shooting touch of Jamar Smith.
Smith's got that range. He and certainly McBride and Brown give him guys that can make threes.
D. Brown. Green got a piece of it, but then the follow is good.
Followed by Arnold, I believe, came up and made that offensive rebound.
And all of a sudden, the Illinois lead went from 3 back up to 8 in about 15 seconds.
Well, that's what happens.
And the one-man fast break leading the way. Noel looking for help. Ginyard into Green, trying to go baseline on D. Brown, shovels it inside, and Hansbrough, who always seems to be in the right place at the right time, he's fouled. Dick, take us inside this 2-man passing play.
Well, you're going to watch Hansbrough right now on the inside. Hansbrough's going to get the ball here, and he's going to try to bring it to the inside. He's going to down the lane, comes down the lane, steps him out, cuts down the lane, gets a layup. It's tough seeing this monitor, man. The glare of this monitor is brutal here. You know, it's brutal. You can't see it.
One thing we've seen on the floor, Ginyard and Green both seem to have a knack of moving very well without the ball. And I know that's one of your teaching tools that you would really like to see players get better with that.
Well, that's a lost art. Yeah. So many kids can pounce the ball to the deck, but they can't really play without the basketball.
Now, D. Brown is cut. That's why we try to tend to that and keep him in the game. As now Frazier's going to check back in.
You know, also we mentioned recruits from North Carolina. William Graves coming in, Alex Stevenson and Deion Thompson. Kids that got great ability and potential as well. Joining the 3 superstars, Ellington, Lawson, and Wright. Could be one of the best classes assembled in many, many a year.
Hansbrough waiting patiently at the line. D. Brown will check back in after this first free throw.
You know, you and Doris and myself were talking about how coaches, we think maybe Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame now. We were talking about Jim Boeheim at Syracuse. Oh, speaking of Boeheim, hey, Boeheim.
You were right. You had your crystal ball out last week,
well,
huh?
I said it would be a great choice, and I'm so happy he'll bring his expertise about the zone to that coaching staff from Mike Krzyzewski. The other hires were excellent as well. D'Antoni, a guy that really understands international basketball. Nate McMillan certainly understands the NBA. I think they got a great staff.
Nice position by all. And a foul committed inside. Was it Hansbrough? It was Hansbrough, and it's his 3rd.
Hansbrough, yeah, made contact. They got to worry a little about him getting in foul trouble. They got no size on that bench.
ESPN2's coverage of the Big Ten ACC Challenge continues tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern. Minnesota will take on Gary Williams' Maryland Terrapins, and then at 9:30 Eastern, a couple of ranked teams. North Carolina State against a very good Iowa team. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
I think people are not mentioning the Terps enough. You heard me. I think the Terps are going to really give people a lot of trouble.
Agreed.
They got some veteran players. They play hard.
Dick, a nice night for James Augustine. 12 points and 11 rebounds already.
Got a double-double. Hasn't had many touches inside.
Illinois has stretched it out to a 10-point lead. And that's their largest lead of the night.
They got the edge in terms of when you look at the matchup personnel-wise because of the experience factor.
Yep. The seniors in D. Brown and James Augustine.
Situation. 37-2. Lost their first game last year to the Buckeyes.
They were #1 for 15 consecutive weeks, got to the national championship game before losing by 5 to these, but not quite these, North Carolina Tar Heels, with the exception, really, of David Noel.
Oh, one of the great games was that Arizona game.
Yep.
Coming back to win that game.
Augustine, and he draws another foul. He's being very active now, very assertive at the offensive end.
Trust me, Illinois is a lot better than I thought. You got guys that are active on that baseline, and this club, when they start getting in sync, understand one another, and commit defensively, they're going to be right up in the upper echelon in the Big Ten. I don't think there's any doubt, Dan.
Dick, this foul on David Noel, his fourth. You look at Michigan State, Illinois, a very good Iowa team, a seemingly improved Indiana team.
And the question mark is, what about Michigan?
Yeah.
This has got to be a special year up there. They got people back like Lester Abram, certainly Daniel Horton. This got to be a breakout year. They got to beat them at home. Miami got blown out just recently.
11-point lead now for the Illini. This is their first true road game of the season. They played a couple of neutral court games, but this is a very tough test, even though Carolina's very young. Terry almost stepped out of bounds. Now another turnover. They're swarming them.
Watch this speed. Are you serious? Watch that speed. He gets into the open court. He's as quick as Digger.
All Illinois right now. Hansbrough trying to corral it inside, and the foul will be called. Ray Natilli with the call, and it's going to go against James Augustine. But Augustine and the other senior, D. Brown, leading the Illini.
Oh, he's making like a little Georgetown Allen Iverson. There he is with the layup, D. Brown.
Welcome back to Chapel Hill. The Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems. It was tied at the half, tied at 35. Dick, what had Illini done better here in the second half?
Oh, I think they've done a better job on the defensive side. I think they're helping out a little bit more. They're playing together as a unit, and that's the difference. That's why they're up 13, plus making some threes. Yep. You got to have balance. They have balance offensively, where North Carolina has been strictly on the interior, has no balance, gotten 0 from the perimeter shooting a 3. And that is really difficult to win big time without that balance, inside, outside.
Hansbrough, as advertised, working as hard as anybody on the floor, mixing it up inside.
He's legit, no doubt about it.
I think North Carolina and Duke fans can look forward to Hansbrough-McRoberts battles. Don't know for how long, but
big advantage for McRoberts for this reason.
Yes.
He has the help from the veterans like Sheldon Williams and J.J. Redick, where this kid has to be a #1 option. A little different makeup there in that matchup.
And Hansbrough has been their leading scorer in each of their first 3 games so far this year. Arnold, the lob inside for Augustine. Ginyard with a steal.
North Carolina's got to go on a little run. Somebody's going to give them momentum and knock a 3. There's the guy that could do it. Got to make one of those.
Rayshawn Terry a miss. Carolina still without a made 3-pointer in this game.
Terry hasn't made one yet this year.
12 for 20 last year and 0 for 7 so far this year.
I think he's pressing a little bit, thinking rather than just reacting and shooting. He's a better shooter than that.
3-guard look, D. Brown, Rich McBride.
McBride gives him that dimension, that long-range shooter. And what that does, Dan, it spaces out and spreads the defense and allows you to get entries inside to Augustine.
4 players in double figures, nobody with more than 13. Great balance, as you said.
There's going to be some real good battles on the upper echelon teams in the Big Ten.
Bobby Fraser,
yes, sir, there's one. There's one. That's big. That gets the crowd a little bit alive. Gives you a little... Psychologically, it's a big lift.
The lead down to 11, 6:16 to play. Terry out and Green in for Carolina.
They got a date with Kentucky coming up. Kentucky good in the backcourt with Rondo and certainly Sparks. I think that the kid, certainly, I feel Morris should be declared eligible. I think maybe miss 7-8 games at the most. If he didn't take money, my guys tell me he never took any money whatsoever. Let's embrace kids. We're supposed to help.
Danny Green with maybe the defensive play of the game at 6'5", getting up there and tying up Sean Pruitt.
He's terrific. I love G-squared, man. Ginyard and Green. There's the look inside. Look at the rotation over defensively. Now they got to come up with a score here. Get it under. There it is. Another 3.
Noel with a dozen in the first half, scoreless in the second half, and a foul call going against the Illini.
Got to convert, count.
It is Pruitt, it's his third. We're at the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Along with Dick Vitale and Doris Burke, I'm Dan Schulman. The ACC up 3-1. North Carolina, a long winning streak here at home, but of course, this is a much different North Carolina team. The top 7 scorers from last year's national championship squad are gone. This is one of the exciting freshmen on the team, Tyler Hansbrough, as this young, talented back against an Illinois team that has had a lot of changes as well, but still has D. Brown and James Augustine.
I love the atmosphere. The crowd is alive. Roy Williams has done a great job in getting this place in the blue heaven and getting them to be animated and spirited. This place is alive.
You're right. This is a building where they were often accused of sitting on their hands. That has not been the case here tonight.
Well,
this is not the wine and cheese crowd.
Sammy Cassell said wine and cheese. Oh, turnover right there. Points on the board. 5:20 on the clock. Down 9. Carolina faithful love it.
Great intensity, a great test for these two teams early.
Both these clubs got guys on their staff, too, that deserve head coaching jobs. I think the guy Price has done a great job at Illinois.
Yep.
Jay, and certainly Steve Robinson deserves another opportunity.
We saw Jared Haas coaching the North Carolina junior varsity team a little bit earlier tonight.
He's Mr. Aggressive. I get that's one. I think he loves being, some guys love being the second lieutenant. Just enjoy that. And he enjoys being with Roy Williams.
Again, 4 freshmen and the senior Noel in the game for Carolina. Bobby Fraser tries to bank it in. Gets back the rebound and is stripped.
He got bumped right there, no call.
Under 5 minutes to go. D. Brown wants to settle things down a little.
Managing the clock now becomes very important because now you're getting to winning time. This is where you separate a lot of guys and you got to make sure the basketball. That was one of the strong suits because Darren Williams made sure the right people shot the ball.
D. Brown for 3.
He hasn't been able to get on track with the three-point shot.
Carolina basketball.
They're going to take advantage of that missed opportunity now.
Well, again, we saw and we talked about last year with D. Brown, Darren Williams, and Luther Head. Those 3 guards created so many good looks for one another. D. Brown's going to have to create a little bit more for himself this year.
And they were all able to make shots.
Yeah.
Williams was so special.
Noel off to Ginyard for 3.
That's a big 3 there, baby. That'll get this place alive. Second 3 in the last 3 minutes. Again, we kept talking about how important the three-point shot is to have balance. College basketball, it's alive and well. The national champs playing against the team that was number 2. The coaches are the same, the players are different, the uniforms are the same. And the same.
An 8-0 run for Carolina. They're back within 6.
Love it, baby. Gotta love it, Danny.
And in part by PlayStation 2. Live in your world, play in ours.
Back here in Carolina, an 8-0 run for the Tar Heels, but Illinois still leads by 6. Bruce Weber made a comment a short while ago saying James Augustine doesn't know how good he is, and that the Illini need him to be assertive and consistent in his senior season.
Well, Jamin James has come up. There he is on the inside, scoring. Good offensive rebound, very active. I mean, there's no doubt he's special. There he is trailing the play, comes in. He's one of the better big players in the Big Ten. This is the player of the year last year in the Big Ten.
And a first-team All-American D. Brown unable to find the range from outside tonight. We're under 4 minutes to go. Carolina's on a run, but Illinois got the lead and the ball.
They need a defensive stop right now.
Good look, McBride. Not there.
Push, there's a push.
Augustine over the back.
That, my friend. Can't get away with that. Now with Mr. Kersey, Mr. Ness rather, standing right there.
Number 2 on Augustine, and that'll send Carolina to the line.
Mr. Hess standing right there.
We'll take a timeout, 3:39 to go. Big finish coming in Chapel Hill. Yeah, there has been some desire on the hardwood tonight here in Chapel Hill. The Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems. Tyler Hansbrough now 6 for 8 from the line tonight as he brings Carolina within 5. The ACC with 3 wins tonight.
Ooh, Jim Delaney's
won the only game last night.
Jim Delaney's going to be smiling. He went to North Carolina. He played Dean Smith, came out of St. Benedict's High School in Newark, New Jersey, doubling up on the ball. They popped it loose.
Arnold
Frazier
wasn't looking for the pass. It hit him right in the back.
Bobby Frazier did a great job popping that loose.
Noel on the drive. Inside Hansbrough and another foul. Hansbrough's going back to the line for 2 more. It's double bonus time already for Carolina.
Nice job by David Noel to try and create that opportunity. Little dribble penetration. That's one of the great assets of teams. The court, get good spacing. We're going to see some good athletes tomorrow night, man. Indiana, Mike Davis told me this team is better than his team that went to the Final Four with Jerry Jeffries. Now he's talking with DJ White. They're playing without DJ White.
A.J. Ratliff, though, has been cleared to play tomorrow night. Dick, it's now an 11-0 run for the Tar Heels.
I thought those 2 threes were big, and this kid is going to be special. They're going to love him in a Tar Heel uniform.
He has knocked down 4 Consure-Pack free throws here in the last few seconds. A 12-0 run, a 2-point game.
North Carolina really asserting itself defensively.
D. Brown the pull-up. He's just 6 for 19 tonight.
He struggled against North Carolina as a freshman and a sophomore shooting the ball.
Yeah, struggled in Greensboro.
Bring it
inside. A couple years
you
ago.
got to bring the ball inside to Hansbrough. I would go inside to the big guy.
Instead, Randall comes up with a steal.
Telegraph that pass. Bring it over to your star. Understand your stars at the end of the game. They have to touch the ball.
Let's see who Illinois decides needs to get a touch. Is it Augustine inside for them?
It's got to be 2-man game. Augustine and D. Brown. Guys that know what winning's about. Won 37 games last year.
The seniors, one of them has the ball now. Here comes the other to set a screen.
Set a screen. Play a little 2-man game, the 2 of them. Defensively by Hansbrough.
They couldn't find him on the roll to the basket. Now it's out of bounds to Carolina.
I'll tell you, the last 4 minutes, Illinois has been totally out of sync, and a lot of it created by the defensive effort of the kids from Chapel Hill.
12-0 run Carolina. Bedlam here at the Dean Dome. 2-point game.
Now make a 3-inch incision between the 4th and 5th abdominal muscles.
Shouldn't you be doing that? Important financial decisions on your own doesn't make much sense either. That's why Edward Jones prefers meeting clients face-to-face.
Taco Bell's new Chipotle Grilled Stuffed Burrito. Loaded with carne asada steak, Chipotle seasoned rice, spicy Southwest Chipotle sauce, and 3 melted cheeses. All wrapped up and grilled to go. For the perfect balance of flavor and spice, think outside the bun.
Welcome back to the Dean Smith Center here in Chapel Hill, along with Dick Vitale and Doris Burke. I'm Dan Schulman. What a comeback by the young Tar Heels, Dick.
I think this is the kind of grown-up game. You look at their schedule, the rest of the pre-conference schedule. Tough game with Davidson, certainly Kentucky, but they can win all those other games. They can be 9-1, at worst 8-2. I really believe in their first 10 games, and that'll help get you some confidence going into the conference.
You see that Carolina's getting 2 shots the rest of the way on fouls. The Tar Heels, meanwhile, have only committed 4. Now another turnover.
Telegraphing passes. Got to protect the basketball. The end is essential.
Let's see if Illinois can execute and get a high percentage look. They've gone ice cold the last 5 minutes.
Well, the edge has got to go, certainly to Illinois, because of experience, even though they're on the road. Brown, certainly, and Augustine.
That's the shooter there, McBride. Follow no good. A couple of chances at it. Augustine, another rebound.
And there's that experience of Augustine.
13 rebounds for James Augustine.
This game's going to be won by the team that takes the best shot.
Get an update from Reese Davis.
All right, Dan, check in on the other game going on right now in the Big Ten ACC Challenge, Miami and Michigan. Chris Hunter inside with the stuff, and Wolverines with a 7-point lead. 14 and change left there.
Well, you talked about how that's a big game for Michigan, a big game for the Big Ten, but more specifically a big game for Tommy Amaker with the guys back who missed a lot of time last year. This is a year where everybody expects Michigan to really make a statement.
Well, yeah, this is the kind of season that right here in this classic, I'm telling you, it's a heck of a game in terms of entertainment. It's been sloppily played, a lot of game up and down, wild passes, but a lot of excitement in the effort. The bottom line is they were down 14, North Carolina. If they can come back and win this game with those freshmen, what a confidence boost it will be.
Especially on a 12-0 run over the last few minutes here late in the game. Bobby Fraser, Tyler Hansbrough and company, Danny Green, Marcus Ginyard, they've all been strong tonight. We are here in Chapel Hill, the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco and Doris Burke. I'm Dan Schulman. It's 3-1 ACC. The ACC with wins in all three finals here tonight. If you're looking for SportsCenter, it's coming your way immediately following this game. 1:26 to go. Illinois with a 2-point lead, but it was 14 not long ago. The Tar Heels have played very well under Roy Williams here with the Dean Dome, but of course, those were different Tar Heels. David Noel, really the only significant holdover as well, the injured Quentin Thomas. These are a new group of Tar Heels, and they have shown their ability here tonight.
Jimmy Burr's got a call on the other side, a little bump. Bobby Fraser, he's not going to see many players as quick as D. Brown, who he's hooking up with. He's from out of Illinois, Bobby Fraser. Let's go back, play for a little bragging rights here.
Went to high school in Chicago. That foul on Rayshon Terry, his third, the team's fifth.
Get something.
Augustine's going to set a screen, try to free up Randall.
Nice play. Great play. Created by the screen up on top by Augustine.
Two-possession game a minute to go.
What a great job of screening the set play. Also credit Bruce Weber. Good call, timeout, came back out.
And again, great balance. Randall's got 12, McBride's got 12, D. Brown's got 12, Augustine 13. Triple teams.
He's got to find the open man.
Ginyard, a long two-point game.
Is he going to be a special player? He is better than people have advertised. Ginyard is definitely a kid. Ginyard, a better player than people have advertised.
Did have a foot on the line. As mentioned, a long a two-point game. Marcus Ginyard has 14 points and 4 steals here tonight.
How could you not like Ginyard? How could you not like Green or Hansbrough? Take a look at him, and Fraser as well. They got 4 nice-looking diaper dandies. Gonna watch him with a nice move on the inside. Good drive. Taking the ball up strong.
We haven't seen the 5th freshman tonight. As you get a look at Marcus Ginyard's big night. And this shot may be the biggest of the night after Hansbrough got out of the triple team.
Hansbrough did a great job getting out of the triple team. Knocks it down. Hey, Doris, what about Ginyard? What do you think of him?
It's kind of amazing, Dick, that Roy Williams told us just an hour before the game that this guy is a freshman he's ever coached on the defensive side of the ball, but ironically tonight it's been his offense that's been key.
That's why I think he's going to be a heck of a player, Doris. He has really more than just defensive ability. He's got some offensive ability. I tell you, my monitor's driving me nuts here, Mr. Schulman. I mean, the glare is unbelievable. Oh, gee. People have no idea sometimes the handicaps you got to work with.
Tell me about it.
Oh.
2-point game. The B Challenge. This game coming to you from Chapel Hill, where North Carolina was down 14 a few minutes ago. They're down 2 right now, and here comes the pressure as Illinois inbounds.
Did a better job defensively, made 2 threes, gave them a spark, and they're here with a chance to win if they can get a defensive stop.
A 5-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
Spacing so important. Spread the court so they can't double up.
Ginyard commits the foul, but that's North Carolina foul this half.
They go in a bonus right after this one.
Down to 26.6 seconds to go. And here comes Jamar Smith.
Look at Bruce Weber coming out there with that one.
With the bad foot.
With the bad foot,
with
man.
The broken ankle.
He's not worried about that ankle now. He's worried about getting a W. He said, forget about that ankle. He said, getting his pants over that was unbelievable.
Smith in there now replacing Randall. Another guard, another shooter, another ball handler.
They're going to spread the court. It's going to come down to making free throws. Got to make some that spreading the court. There's the foul.
They're going to foul the freshman. They're going to foul the guy who just came into the game and to put him on the line. SportsCenter is next year on ESPN immediately following the conclusion of this game. And don't forget that there's more action out of the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems tomorrow night. A great doubleheader beginning at 7 Eastern. Georgia Tech and Michigan State. Then at 9 Eastern, Dick and I will be in Bloomington. #1 Duke taking on Indiana. That foul committed by David Noel. He had a huge first half, pretty quiet in the second half. In fact, did not score.
Yeah, he really was outstanding early in the game, in particular. You and I heading out to Bloomington right after the game.
Smith's first free throw of the night. Back rim. Loose ball to Illinois.
Wow.
And now D. Brown will shoot. And Bobby Fraser appears to be injured. May have jammed a finger reaching in for the basketball.
Come back to haunt Memphis against Duke. Duke missed 3 in a row and came up with the possession. There's the long rebound. Got to take that shooter, man. Somebody's got to yell, I got the shooter. And you got to take that long rebound. Can't allow them to come up with that. Get the break. He misses the free throw.
Look at the intensity on both sides tonight. It's been a hard-fought game. D. Brown's first free throw of the night, 1 and 1. He's 8 for 13 on the season. There's your senior.
As the Rainbow got a little smile on his face, like this is your confidence. There's the head. Messi's nodding his head. I'm confident. This baby's going down. He's a great kid. Got a bubbly personality.
Knocks him down. 2-possession game.
Don't want to foul here. You don't want to foul. You want to take time off. They got to score quickly.
Terry for 3. And a foul going against Carolina as D. Brown races down to the other end of this. Team is 4 seconds away from a big road win.
Well, going home with a nice W. Traveling. That ankle will feel a little bit better now for Bruce Weber. It's all about winning with coaches. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, the guy's one of the most underpaid coaches in the Big Ten, you know.
That's right.
Why don't you loan him some cash? He's only making about $600-700,000.
Got a nice raise, but still not up there with the big fellas.
Well, a couple
no
more years.
fouls, he screams. No fouls.
He'll be there in a couple more years, but I'll tell you one thing, he's making a heck of a lot more than he made at Purdue as an assistant.
Front end.
Hands up, you don't want to foul. You go home with the W. Great effort by North Carolina to come back. Young kids, they're going to be up and down during the course of the year. They're going to surprise some people on some special moments, and there's going to be nights where they're going to lose to people you wouldn't expect them to lose. That's because of youth. They have so many young players.
James Augustine with a double-double, our Cisco Systems player of the game. 13 points, 13 rebounds for the senior as Illinois comeback attempt by Carolina, and it beats the Tar Heels 68-64. Stay tuned for SportsCenter next year on ESPN with John Anderson and Steve Levy, and over on ESPN News it'll be our post-game extra here from the Dean Dome. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Dick Vitale, Doris Burke, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dan Schulman saying so long from North Carolina. Illinois wins by 4.
Reddick just about matching it at 24.5 points per game. Sheldon Williams doing his work inside, 19 points, 8.5 rebounds, 3 blocks, and Josh McRoberts, the headliner of their great freshman class, shooting 67% so far from the floor.
You know, Lee Melchione jumps to mind as a guy that does a lot of little things too. Maybe not like Graham Brown because he's not a power kind of a guy. And you mentioned the freshman Greg Paulus getting a lot of minutes at the point. Well, it doesn't surprise you.
Miami, which has had trouble scoring quickly this year without Anthony Harris, needs to get it going here. Height turned it over.
And misuse of the bounce, trying to turn the corner. Again, good perimeter pressure by Michigan.
Miami has turned it over 7 times here in the second half. Michigan has played turnover-free basketball since the break. Nice high low to Hunter, and Hunter will shoot 2. Well, another victory for the Big Ten. Illinois in the rematch of last year's national championship game, but a decidedly different look on each squad. Wins by 4 at Carolina. So 2 wins now for the Big Ten, and if Michigan can hold on to this lead, the Big Ten will even it up. You need 6 wins to win the Commissioner's Cup. Big Ten has never won this event in the previous 6. incarnations.
Much better conference this year, deeper, don't you think?
Question.
Yeah, I think they've got quality teams, and you mentioned Carolina, an entirely different lineup. I mean, the scouting, you don't even look at the tape of last year's game if you're Illinois. It's a whole different group of young people. Danny Green, a kid that's from New York, came in there. Tyler Hansborough, we mentioned the other evening. Bobby Frazier, some pretty good players.
12-1 run for Michigan. They're pulling away. Hunter's had an excellent night. It's a season high now in points for Hunter with his 11.
I see too much dribble. Didn't need that. Got to eat that basketball. Horton trying to split defenders.
Knight's pass handcuffed Jimmy Graham, who gets it out to Diaz. Miami has scored only 7 points in this half. Diaz stripped. Good hands by Coleman. Graham hit. Height's in trouble. Height is fouled by Deion Harris.
A nice play by Graham. You're right. Got down and dirty. Kept it alive. They just can't seem to get out of sync right now. Miami, I think it's attributable to extraordinary perimeter defense. Bouncing the ball. Defense is the king.
2 fouls on Harris. He goes to the bench. Graham Brown also goes out.
Have standing room applause for Brown going out after that effort, don't you think?
Yes, indeed. Height a miss. Last touch by Michigan.
I know everybody likes the thrills and the chills. It's titillating, but a guy like Brown should be rewarded and acknowledged.
Tough entry with Abram on him. Now Guillermo Diaz. He was 1 for 10 in their last game against Temple. Scored only 6 points. He had scored in double figures in 32 straight. And this is back-to-back relatively quiet nights by Diaz's standards. He has 8 points tonight. He did draw a foul with that drive.
And you know, the difficulty here, Sean, they're just doubling this play. I would get away from the high pick and roll. It really limits him. This time he tries to do collaboration in the back. The defense steps up. They close on the rear to cover people. This is just beautiful defense by Michigan.
Hunter called for his 3rd foul. Diaz missed the free throw. 8 points. Only about half of his average. He now needs 13 more to become the 28th Miami player to reach 1,000 in his career. He started his junior year. Last year in ACC play, he averaged 20 points per game. And against the 9 ranked opponents they played last year, he averaged 23 per game. So usually against the best competition, he's at his best.
He steps up. 2nd team All ACC. See if Smith can get it organized now. Very talented performer. Going to have a wonderful career here. Nice discard.
Horton and a tip in by Courtney Sims.
Get to the rim, big fella. They're really not being stuck by the Miami people. You got to keep them off the glass.
Midway through the second half, Michigan comfortably in front, trying to go to 4-0 for the year.
Pretty.
Hamilton missed the layup, got his own rebound, and then he's fouled.
Good hustle by Hamilton. Just a good job here with the discard. The inside position by Sims. He just takes his guy, rides him out. At that size, extraordinary position. Oof. Offensive blast, Sean.
Usually that's the strength of Miami. Guillermo Diaz with a high arcing jumper out of the corner.
This is where they're going to get back in it, Miami. They got away from the zone, going straight up.
It's the second 3-ball of the night for the Hurricanes. Both have been made by Diaz. Clemente went for the steal and didn't get it.
I think Michigan, how they handle the 10 minutes. Do they get good shots late in the shot clock? And here they get to the free throw line.
And Tommy Amaker made the point we visited today, because they had so many depletions to the roster last year for injuries and suspensions. his team, even though a number of them are upperclassmen, they're kind of learning to play together again and trying to find the combinations that work, because for so much of last year, there was a while last year they were playing 3 or 4 walk-ons at one time.
And getting to know one another, he mentioned the affection that he has and they seem to have for one another. You're together, you know how to reach back together.
It's a program that went through a lot of turmoil before Tommy Amaker got here. And with his character and track record, he seemed the perfect choice to smooth things out, get this program back on solid ground. He has. He really believes they have terrific kids, a talented team. And it's hard to believe. You think about all the success that they've had over the years, Bill. They haven't been in the NCAA tournament since 1998, when they had to win the Big Ten tournament under Brian Elby to get there. Last year, they were even ranked.
So that is amazing.
1998. That championship in '89 seems like a very long time ago for Wolverine fans.
I had dark hair. You mentioned the NIT championship in 2004. I mean, an amount of success, but their expectations as a coaching staff and players is the highest. They want to get in and do some damage. The NCAA, that is.
Abrams' return to health, a big step in that direction. He says he's not 100%, he's 110% after that shoulder surgery last year. Brown back in. Smith goes out. So it's Horton, Harris, Abram, Sims, and Brown, essentially the starting 5 back on the court now for Coach Amaker. Rob Height for Miami, Hamilton, Diaz, and King for Coach Frank Hay.
And he is really wired on the sideline. He's right. He had a tough call against him at the other end. A real good block to put Abram to the free throw line. He wants his guys to compete. How about that one?
Well, he throws up some shots. When you watch a release, you say, what is he doing? And all of a sudden they go in. And that thing was nothing but net, and he was fouled.
Oh, that's a teardrop with the offense. This is amazing. Able to go to that right hand, and that is near impossible on the run without the backboard.
You know, Diaz at the line. "41-inch vertical leap." Diaz, and on that right leg, his face of his grandmother, a tattoo of her face. Used to have just her name there. He decided to go ahead. Her face tattooed on the lower right leg. Another wild shot, and he gets bailed out as Brown fouled him. So Diaz almost single-handedly tried to bring Miami back into this one.
Well, you know, Michigan on the offensive end, not a good pass. Sims cutting to the rim, a turnover, come the other way, little action. Miami getting their legs now. You've got to gain control, and this is where a point guard makes those decisions. Let's see who takes over now with Harris, Abram, and Horton on the floor.
We mentioned he played volleyball in Puerto Rico. Art Alvarez, a Heisman, brought him over here to play basketball. Art Alvarez called Perry Clark, then the coach at Miami, before Diaz had played a game at Miami Christian, said, you may want to come over here and get a look at this guy, because once other people see him, everybody is going to be recruiting him. So Perry Clark got the early commitment, and it's a good thing, because I think the high school coach was right. Once other guys got a look at Guillermo Diaz, they'd all be knocking on his door.
And that's the knee scope too this past year. I mean, he's damaged.
Last year he had 30 points at North Carolina, 25 against Duke, 27 in their win over Maryland. He is a big-time performer. He says he's not satisfied. They haven't played in the NCAA tournament yet in his previous 2 years in Miami.
Now, that was a good set that time. You get it in deep to Sims. They did a nice job. Miami pushing him under the glass to make it a tough delivery, but that's good, solid offensive basketball.
Miami with 4 starters back from that 16-win team last year. Brown out to Horton. That's a 3. He's a man on a mission this year. He said, I let my teammates down last year. He was involved in off-the-court trouble that cost him to miss the end of the season. Wound up pleading guilty to a misdemeanor charge of domestic violence. He heated argument with a girl and shoved her. The sentence suspended, but he missed the last 13 games of the year. And they were dreadful without him. Timeout, Michigan by 16.
I want to go over a few things before you leave for Oslo. 80 gig, titanium, Wi-Fi, secure. Should you find yourself sans laptop, check in with this. Bluetooth, broadband, built-in camera.
Secure.
If it's on our network, it's secure.
Encrypted, hacker-proof, titanium.
It's a pen.
Security, powered by Cisco.
As the holidays make their arrival, consider how you'll make yours. Discover the new Infinities, available with intelligent all-wheel drive at the Infinity Limited Engagement Winter Event. See your retailer for 1.99% APR on all 2005. Too long. Infinity's limited engagement won't last forever.
Whatever it is, you can get it on eBay.
Create your own holiday feast at Red Lobster. Combine 2 or 3 of your seafood favorites from 10 signature dishes, including turn a meal into a celebration this holiday at Red Lobster.
Dad? Hey, buddy. Could you read me a story? Football.
That's okay. I can freeze time.
Whoa.
Introducing the DirecTV Plus DVR.
Do it again.
Finally, an easy-to-use DVR that gives you the power to pause and rewind live TV, so you'll never miss a second of what's important to you.
Somebody up there loves you.
Free DirecTV Plus DVR when you sign up now. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. Illinois and North Carolina went right down to the end. Rich McBride find Brian Randall. McBride led the Illini with 5 assists. Illinois had to hang on 68-64 the final.
That's the second victory for the Big Ten. If Michigan can finish the job, Big Ten ACC Challenge will be even at 3 wins apiece. Conference needs 6 wins to claim the Commissioner's Cup. Gary Hamilton at the free throw line for Miami, down by 16 with 7.5 to go. You have to admire Hamilton, a man of great ambition. He wants to be a sports writer someday.
I did see that.
Talk about aiming high.
That's touched close to home.
A noble profession.
I thought it would endear him to the local scribes as well. Overlooked maybe a short.
Rebounded the miss, and then Graham Brown rejected King on the way back up.
Look at this run out. Pretty look. When Horton plays within himself, he's not having one of those knockout Buffo points games, but nipping away with good decisions.
He found Deion Harris, who has 12 points. Hamilton called for a charge. That man, Graham Brown, stepping in to draw the offensive foul.
You're not easily impressed. The kid's been incredible tonight, hasn't he? Just a great feel. Here he gets involved in the shot block, and what a wonderful feel. Working right away, no wasted time, gets it up. The easy finish at the other end, and then Brown, who just keeps knocking him back consistently on the defensive end. A factor.
4 fouls on Gary Hamilton of Miami now. Michigan better, 31% in the first half, 50% in this half. Horton improves on that percentage with a 3, and it's a 20-point lead for the Wolverines.
If he lets it come to him, Sean, he doesn't have to come and take the first jack. Just play within it. It'll come back to him. He's too good.
Diaz long with the jumper. King crashed, and then Hamilton's shot swatted by Chris Hunter.
Oh, a presence much needed with Sims out of the game. Brown on the right side slaps it back, but get it out of the zone.
Jimmy Graham returns for Miami and accepts the inbounds pass. Clemente trying to drive on Harris. Awkward shot, and it goes.
Ooh, we got a problem here. Knee. King with a knee.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
Down behind the play. Grabbing at his left leg. Maybe an ankle.
Yeah.
Anthony King, the junior, 6'9", 235 from Durham, North Carolina. We mentioned the lack of quality depth in the front court. They really cannot afford a serious injury to Anthony King, who started all 29 games last year. Averaged 8 rebounds per game.
Talked about his ability blocking shots. I think he's improved. Let's see, take a look at this, Sean. It sure steps on somebody's foot as he comes down right in here.
Oh yeah,
that
his
left
teammate.
One. Yeah,
Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, the left one just recoils up the leg. That is amazing, isn't it?
King posted a triple-double last year against Florida Atlantic. It was 1 year ago today. 11 points, 10 rebounds, and as we mentioned earlier, the ACC record 13 block shots in one game.
Oh, this is good to see. Sean, he's staying, keeping the weight off it, which is a smart thing. You know what's amazing? The worse shape you're in, your ankle snaps right back. And I can attest to that, having stepped on rocks or on curbs or in a hole on the golf course. It's utterly amazing. When you're in great shape, well, it just pains you. There's some tautness or something about the ankle. I don't know if you've ever had one.
No. When you're a total non-athlete, you're not usually in those situations. Although when you were reciting the situations that you humble and twist your ankle, I wasn't thinking about golf courses, nor was anybody on our crew.
We'll let that one just slide.
Clemente, with his team down by 18 and nearing 6 minutes to go. He goes quickly to the bucket, and Brown says, that is my rebound.
Now, you don't have to be in a hurry. Be smart.
11 rebounds for Graham Brown. Him at double digits in boards at the moment.
I like Miami really stepping up the pressure now. This is, you know, even if you don't win, this is setting the tone. Got to get some help baseline.
Tough shot followed up by Horton after Abram got his shot jammed by the rim. 13 points for Horton. Horton has averaged at least 12 points per game in each of his first 3 seasons at Michigan. He's from a basketball family. His dad, a high school guard at Missouri. Abram a little too fast and got away with it as it was knocked out of bounds by Miami.
They shouldn't even have been in the traffic there, Sean. But watch this play. Drive baseline, which is helped, and then from the top, you have to go all the way down and help on the checkout man. Nobody did. I mean, it's a joint effort. Everybody rotating. Somebody steps over to pick up the charge. You go down and play his man. Keep him off the glass. Continual effort.
Hamilton kicked the pass. 26 to shoot for Michigan. Nearing 5 minutes left. The Wolverines seemingly on their way to victory and evening this Big Ten ACC challenge at 3 wins for each conference. Last year, the ACC won 7-2 when they played 9 games. They're playing 11 this year. Every Big Ten school is participating, and 11 of the 12 ACC schools in action, with the exception of newcomer Boston College. Abram fouled as he made a move to the bucket. We're at Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan, for the Big Ten ACC Challenge, presented by Cisco Systems. Sean McDonough, Bill Raftery, our producer Scott Matthews, director John McDonough. Happy to have you with us. Big Ten trying to get even. They had the lead starting tonight. They won the only game last night, Ohio State over Virginia Tech in Columbus. They're working on the left ankle of Anthony. Cannot seem to be in the same kind of pain he was in when he first fell to the court.
It's almost a fear when it first happens to you.
Yeah, you worry so much about, did I just do something that's going to end my season?
You know, Abram is a load when he posts up, isn't he? I mean, good size, good extension, tough matchup with that 3-guard look of Tommy Amaker's. Look at Brown always sniffing around. It's
Diaz now 5 points away from 1,000 for his career. Fouled as he tried to drive on Daniel Horton.
Got Abram involved from the top too, even though the foul was given. Good, solid play. I mean, you're looking to help your teammate.
When we talk about the future for Miami basketball and Frank Haith with his recruiting skills and his demonstrated ability last year as a tech should help keep this program heading in the right direction. One of the first things he did was try to establish South Florida as Miami's territory when going after high school basketball talent. The 3 freshmen this year, their top 3 freshmen who are part of that highly ranked recruiting class, are all from South Florida. When he got the job, they didn't have one scholarship player on their team from the state of Florida, which seems kind of silly given all the great athletes they have in that state. Diaz fouled again.
His experience, I think, he waited, he was patient, he looked for a job that he thought could be a real good one. And I think his foundation was such that he understood what it took, what kind of patience. And you know, when you're in a Miami area, can they get players consistently out of the high school? I think they can. And they may have years off when he's not the superstar, but they're fighting Florida State and Florida in-state. And then people that come in as well over the years. A lot of good players have left the state. Did to Carolina.
They're going to get their share of players from other parts of the country who just want to come down and enjoy the warm weather of South Florida. They have a new on-campus 7,000-seat arena. They're in the ACC now, which has attracted the interest of recruits who otherwise might not have been interested in them in the past. And as Frank Haith said, it is a well-regarded academic institution. There's a lot to sell at Miami, and Frank Haith is doing a good job selling it.
5 sellouts, and 5 of the ACC teams came in there. So there is an interest.
Harris fouled as he got an offensive rebound. Jimmy Graham, 6'8", 245 as a freshman. He just kind of blends in on this team. He said, yeah, in high school, I was used to being the biggest and strongest guy. He said, I'm not bigger and strong than everybody at this level.
Got off to a rocky start with the 2 fouls tonight. Really didn't see his ability with solid frame. And King looks like he wants to come back. He's just going to get his fully. It's not worth jeopardizing at this stage.
The free throw by Harris bounces off. Graham is not from that South Florida group. He's from Goldsboro, North Carolina. He had quite a road to Miami. His mother is in the National Guard station in Iraq. She had a number of personal problems, wasn't around much during Jimmy's youth. Neither was his father. His sister was in and out of group home. A woman named Becky Vincent, a registered nurse who was a counselor for troubled youths at a church function. She took an interest in Graham. He said he was going to the church functions just for the free food. And before long, she was helping him get his academic house in order. He wasn't interested in school. He wound up graduating high school with a 3.6 GPA. She's become his legal guardian. He says it's really thanks to Becky Vincent that he's in this position to have the bright future that he has. And we hear so many stories like that about the goodness of people to help young people who long in life through no fault of their own get the help they need to succeed. 20-point game, Michigan with the lead. Coming up, 1 night to go in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. We'll look ahead to tomorrow when top-ranked Duke and Michigan State will be in action.
What's he doing here?
Beats me.
The Big Ten ACC Challenge is presented by Cisco, changing the play and learn. Innovation powered by Cisco. And in part by Infinity, using the power of design to create dynamic, beautiful automobiles. And King Kong, directed by Peter Jackson. King Kong in theaters December 14th.
That young man put on quite a show at halftime. He left to a standing ovation as he walked off the floor at Chrysler Arena. And Michigan has put on a nice performance of its own here in the second half.
Their defense has stepped up, much more improved. They extended a lot better. They cover a lot better. Back people understand zone and getting back to the ideal person after the recovery. Just good play.
Adrian Thomas made 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. He's a freshman. Another member of that highly recruited class from South Florida. He's from Pembroke Pines High School.
They'll run a little clock here while they're running their stuff. Anybody slips, take advantage of it. They go zone lead.
Down to 10 to shoot. Hunter He crashed the boards but couldn't get it. It wound up in the hands of Thomas, who runs to the bucket and couldn't handle the pass from height.
Not a bad look, though.
Final night action from the Big Ten ACC Challenge comes your way tomorrow night at 11:30 Eastern. Maryland visits the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, and then at 9:30, number 21 NC State takes on 15th ranked Iowa. The Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Cisco Systems tomorrow night on ESPN2. There are many in this part of the country who thinks Iowa undervalued, ranked only 15th.
I would agree. Good, solid play, and you know, Steve's had a couple of those kids for a few years now. Brunner comes to mind, and lost a little bit weight.
Jarrett Smith back running the point now for University of Michigan, the freshman. And another three, this one from Deion Harris. He has 16 points.
Played a solid game, too. Made some great looks. I think you had mentioned earlier he had 4 assists.
You know, they have a talented team, as Tommy Emiger says. When Petway comes back, they'll be about 10 deep as well. That'll be a major contrast to last year. He's going to go to the bench here and get a couple of the players deeper down the bench in action. Timeout.
They're to keep playing.
Michigan. Tommy Emiger says, let's keep playing. He just wanted to get the substitutions into the ball game. Tommy Emiger says, let's just keep it going. I want to get these guys into the game, and that's the purpose of the timeout.
A lot of style, too. You don't want to rub it in at all.
Mark Haith isn't going to argue that point. There's the lineup tomorrow. Georgia Tech and Michigan State, Minnesota and Maryland and Northwestern. And
Maryland will be interesting come the end of the year, don't you think?
Yes.
They improved in Maui.
Amadou Ba has come into the game, big number 50. I'd love to see him score. He's a crowd favorite here. Ron Coleman, the fadeaway. That's a shot clock violation. Drew no rim. And tomorrow night, Duke in Indiana and NC State and Iowa in the late games. Duke in Indiana, 9 Eastern time on ESPN. The other game at 9:30 right here on ESPN2.
State, of course, beat Notre Dame. One thing about Duke and Indiana has to match the same defensive intensity as Duke. I mean, they're going to come ready to play defensively. They're going to take you out of things. You've got to counter that. A lot of talent on that floor.
Coleman running the court, did well to catch it. Shepard missed the dunk, but was fouled. Well, there's your guy, our Cisco Systems player of the game.
Come on, support me now. You agree, don't you?
I thought he had a terrific game.
Yeah, I really did. I thought he set the tone for this team. The rebounds are only a small portion of his contributions. What every coach's dream would be, you know, screening, helping his teammate, covering.
I said, Mr. Rafter, you're my favorite commentator in college basketball. That might have played into it, too.
Well, you think I can be had or reached? I'm disappointed in your opinion. I'm above that.
Well, it was a nice team effort tonight for Michigan. They had 5 players in double figures, led by Harris with 16 points. Jimmy Graham's just fouled out for Miami. Abram with 14, Horton with 13, Sims with 12 and 6 rebounds, Hunter with 11. You're right, and you've been right all night long. First time in a while. Graham Brown does do a lot of things to help the team.
And you think of Miami, you'll get Anthony Harris back, what he said by the North Carolina State game later in the month. Clemente will be the backup. This is a good basketball team, and the road is funny for teams as you're trying to find your identity. Find your personality.
I'm glad for a lot of reasons that Jay Billis is not with us here tonight. Ron Shepard just missed 2 free throws. Of course, he was Mr. Basketball in Canada last year.
Oh, my goodness.
And we have just kind of smoothed over
relations with
Canada after Jay's disparaging comments about the quality of high school basketball in Canada. And I'm sure he would have said something like, yeah, this guy's the best player in high school last year in Canada, and he can't make a foul shot. So to all the folks in Canada, we're glad Jay's not here. By the way, Miss Basketball from Canada last year has also come here to Michigan. She's on the women's team. Stephanie Skurba, 6'3" forward, playing for.
You weren't very busy today, were you? A lot of time for
research.
Yeah, very impressed.
Fill in the gaps in case it's a 20-point game.
And how about that in Brown's tournament out in Maui after defaming the Canadian?
But you see what happened in Canada. The government, you know, is in disarray now.
Yeah, they're the new election.
Calling the government. Yeah.
Is that because of Jay's comment?
I think it's because what Jay said. It triggered an avalanche of stuff, and look what happened.
Speaking of Tommy on a roll, not quite an avalanche, but I just have liked what I have seen. They're much stronger minded on the defensive end, and I think that's really how you become a good basketball team, because unselfishness is more important on the defensive end, believe it or not, or just as important if you want to buy that. You just got to help one another, always be there. You've got one another's back.
You know, I know some have wondered around the country, is Tommy Amaker on the hot seat in his 5th year now? Last year in his 4th year, they went 13 and 18. They're well aware of everything that happened last year, all of the injuries, the off-the-court problems, and this is a team that won 23 games in the NIT 2 years ago. They know what Tommy Amaker inherited. They know the quality of his character, everything that he stands for in his basketball mind, and I don't get any sense talking to folks around here in Ann Arbor that he is in any way on any hot seat.
They are proud. Obviously, Tommy, more than anybody, would like to make that next step, get the NCAA. They're starting to feel real good about the recruiting out of state and in state. This is just a solid guy with a great background, as you noted.
Coleman stayed with the play and earned a trip to the free throw line. I think the most impressive thing to Tommy Amaker is you look at the balance scoring from his team tonight, and he has overcome his lengthy association to become such a major factor in the world of basketball.
You ever notice Bill has always befriended Johnny Dawkins or Tommy Amaker, anybody who gave it up? Quinn Snyder.
Kind of a difficult next game upcoming for Tommy Amaker personally, as he'll be coaching down at Notre Dame against Mike Bray, his longtime friend, like Tommy, a former assistant coach to Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. And that's not easy when you coach against one of the...
They put the blinders on for 40 minutes. Two great competitors. Mike's done a great job with the ND program.
Jonathan Stratton, a walk-on, is into the game now for Miami, seeing his first action of the season, a sophomore from Sandusky, Ohio. And he gets a shot and scores.
All right, he's got a lot of supporters here.
That's his first career points. He played in 2 games last year, and in his first action of this season, he hits his first shot. It's a big night in Sandusky, Ohio. On an otherwise bad night for the Hurricanes, they lose, and that evens this Big Ten ACC challenge at 3 wins for each conference, with 5 games still to be contested. Final score, Michigan 74, Miami 53. NFL Films, the numbers game is next on ESPN2. Now for Bill Raftery and our ESPN2 crew, I'm sure that this has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night, everybody, from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
A statistical analysis of the NFL, and a man whose value is immeasurable.